Gareth Southgate was definitely responsible for England's loss at the Euro 2020 final. Stay tuned. Okay, so I'm going to describe here how the first goal England scored. Luke Shaw is the one who scored the goal, and I know a lot of people blame the Di Lorenzo, the Italian right back, for the goal Italy conceded. But I'm going to explain to you what I've seen. So here's what happened. Before even we blame Di Lorenzo, the ball came from Trippier, right? He came all the way from Trippier to there. Normally he's a right back, but he's been playing at the wing back now. So he came from the right wing. So he's but across. You can watch the replay again and see it over and over. He's waiting to cross. Emerson, the left back for Italy, is like 2-3 yards away from him. Instead of going to get the ball, he's just watching Trippier, right? Instead of going on the block. So my point here is Trippier shouldn't even have gotten the opportunity to cross the ball in the first place. This shouldn't even have happened. As a left back, this is what he's doing. Left back supposed to cover for whoever is coming on the right wing. Emerson did not do that. He gave him too much room. Trippier crossed the ball, and then again here Di Lorenzo, Italian right back, was nowhere to be found. Luke Shaw was wide open, and he shot the goal and he scored. So now let's go the other side. How Italian equalized. So Italian, they cross it from the right wing. So he went all the way. Then Verratti in the penalty kick area. Verratti, the midfield, defensive midfield, was there, who had the ball, and then he hit the post. And actually, Pickford, England goalie, he saved a little bit then, and then he hit the post. And Harry Kane has to come all the way to try to defend, trying to prevent Bonucci, the centre back, scoring. And Bonucci end up scoring, but the idea here is, if you watch it, who I'm blaming here is at the defenders. If you watch, where was John Stones? Where was Maguire? Especially if you watch Maguire on it, he's just standing there, he's just watching. Harry Kane has to come all the way. Remember, Harry Kane is a striker. This is not supposed to be his job. Defender's supposed to stop it after Pickford, the England goalie, make the save. So when as a goalie you make a save, you expect your defender to bail you out, right? While you're struggling on the ground, and whether it is Kyle Walker or even John Stones, Maguire, they were nowhere to be found, and Bonucci ended up putting the goal in the net. So the whole idea here is communication. I keep saying that communication is key when you are defending, especially on set pieces. Left back is guarding who? Right back is guarding who? Center back, somebody is guarding somebody, and you communicate. So sometimes you have to switch quickly. If you have to switch, you always have to communicate. But the main idea is, whoever you are guarding, you stick that person all the way. You just don't fall asleep when you are playing the game. So that's my explanation of how the goal came about. But another thing I've seen is, when I'm making my point about playing three at the back, when England playing three at the back. Remember, they played Kyle Walker as a right back. Then they played John Stone as one of the defensive mid, the center back, and then Maguire here playing as a left back. Maguire, you see, this is the kind of situation I'm talking about. Like, these center backs are not ideal. First of all, they are not fast. and especially against these against this Italy forward. You have Insigne, Immobile, and then Chiesa. Chiesa is just too fast for Maguire and John Stones. Even Immobile and Insigne. But they were lucky, England, the back three were lucky that Insigne and Immobile didn't have a good day. They didn't have a good game. It just wasn't their day. It wasn't like how we used to know them. They were having a bad day. Chiesa was really punishing Maguire, the whole defense. He was moving a lot, and this is what center backs don't like. So that was already a mistake, because I keep always saying, when somebody is playing three at the back, make sure you do the opposite, right? If I have a team and my opponent is playing three at the back, I'm going to add more forward, right? If I was playing three, I will add two more, left and right wing. I will play five, right? Just to punish them. So the less player you have, you put more on your side to be able to beat them. And this is what happened. And at some point, England coach, he ended up adjusting a little bit. He ended up bringing Luke Shaw at the back to make it 4, but it was almost too late. I don't know why it took him that long to figure this out, because the two center back, John Stone and Maguire, especially Maguire, he was suffering a lot physically, right? They needed help, and they did not adjust accordingly. So here's what I've seen, and the coach supposed to adjust his system. He didn't. So hopefully he learned from this game, and for future competition, maybe he wouldn't be making these kind of mistakes again. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Now that you watched that video, here's a couple of things I've noticed when I was watching the game. So remember, the video today I'm making is about Gareth Southgate, the England manager. He was responsible for his team losing against Italy. Don't get me wrong, Italy played well, but he made some wrong decisions, and that cost his team. So let's go with the first one. Right from the back, Southgate has been changing his lineup from the beginning of the competition until now. So I thought he was just confusing the opponent, but this tells me he really didn't know his team. And whoever his starting lineup were, he still wasn't trusting them. And it shows based on the substitution he made. And if you look at it, Italy made about, 6 substitutions, and England only made 5. So here's the thing. Southgate started the game by playing 3 at the back, and he played Kyle Walker as a right back, and then Maguire and Stones, the 2 center backs. That make it the 3 defenders. And he played Luke Shaw, who's a right back. Well, he's like a left back, sorry. He plays him as a wing back, so he's playing like in the midfield. Trippier, who's a right back, who's playing at as a right wing, and they call them as a wing back also. So, right, you have Trippier and Kyle Walker, both of them are right back. They're playing on the same side. That's already wrong, right? Worst case scenario, we know England, they have been looking for a left back for a long time. So he should have played Trippier as a left back, and if he has to stick with Maguire and Stone, play them at the center back, and then Kyle Walker as your right back. That's the defense right there. Simple as that. He should have done that. And then in the midfield, whether you're playing 3 or 4 at the back, make sure you always play 2 center backs. Because Italians, not 2 center back, 2 defensive midfield. Okay? 2 defensive midfield. And that's what Italians have been doing. They play 4 at the back and 2 defensive midfield. Because they notice Mancini, Italian coach, he knows Bonucci and Chiellini, both center backs, are old. So he needs younger defensive midfield to protect them. That's why he has Jorginho and Verratti in front of them. And that was easy. So Di Lorenzo, the right back for Italy, Emerson, the left back, they were, you can tell at the final, they were the liability. I call them liabilities because they were having a lot of trouble, especially Di Lorenzo. Raheem Sterling didn't have a good game, but he was making him run a lot. Di Lorenzo was struggling a lot, and that's how the first goal coming from England, Luke Shaw, the one Luke Shaw scored, it was Di Lorenzo's fault. So, and then in front, Southgate, he should have played Raheem Sterling as a left wing, which he did. Harry Kane as a striker. Mason Mount is a playmaker. And then he will have put Rashford as a right wing. Sterling is very fast as a winger, left winger. Then you have Rashford, very fast too, right winger. Because left and right back for Italy, they were struggling a lot. So you need players who has like pace, who are very, very fast. That's why you put Sterling and Rashford. But he didn't do that. He brought Rashford at the last minute of the game, 120th minute, when the extra time was already over. So Rashford didn't even have time to get in the game, and he went straight to the penalty kick. So that was an opportunity he missed. And he has so many subs too, Gareth Southgate, but he only used 5 substitutions. And even when Rashford came as a sub, he subbed Henderson, who was already playing as a substitute. So he sought another substitute for another one. So that tells me that he was just confused in the game. He has so many good players on the bench, but he wasn't using them. And I think even Mancini saw that opportunity when England was playing 3 at the back. He used it against them. And he has his 3 offensive players who are Chiesa, Immobile, and Insigne. They didn't have even a good game, especially Immobile and Insigne. They didn't have a very good game. And at some point, he substituted them too. They were injured. So, but Chiesa was really, really all over the place. Like he was just confusing the whole England defense. So, Southgate didn't adjust the system. He didn't do that until late, until he decided to bring him back Shaw to make it back 4. He should have done that for the first 5 minutes when the game already started. Okay? So that was one. So he didn't put the right lineup there, whether offensively or defensively. And another one is the substitution. They were late and wrong substitution. Okay? So this is what I think of the game, this final. I think if he had played those offensive players, as I said, because Raheem Sterling, like I said, he was not having a good game. Harry Kane too, he was looking for somebody to give him the ball. Mason Mount too didn't have a good game. So sometimes when your star players don't have a good game, that's why you have the substitution. Whether you trust them or not, just bring them fresh legs. And he didn't do that. He will really regret that. England, they have the team for it just to win. So we like watching final, but it has to be really, really challenging. It has to be like working hard for it. Italians really, really work hard. From defense to offense, they really play as a team. And English, they were just at some point, they were lacking confidence. And when your players are lacking confidence, sometimes it's up to the coach. Make the right substitution. Okay, so whoever you bring in as a sub, make sure you tell other one who are already playing there to change the system. Change it accordingly. It's okay. So this is what I think. Southgate made those mistakes, and it really definitely caused England the final. So, but other than that, it was a great game. So, let me know what you think of this game after watching it. Who are you supporting? So, I hope you like this video. Thank you again for watching the Exceptional One channel. And there are more videos to come. Now that Euro is over, I have a lot of Premier League games. Premier League season is about to start again, so I will have a lot of videos coming about that. I'm going to discuss teams like Chelsea, Man U, Liverpool, Man City, also the Leicester City. I'm going to discuss some of the positions they might need to address before the new season starts. So thank you again for watching my channel, The Exceptional One. Make sure you share this video as well. So.